Imagine walking into your backyard tomorrow and realizing not a single fence came from a store. The glowing border by your tomatoes? Just yesterday's bottles, now blooming like glass flowers. The shimmery wall at the back? Broken mirrors and chipped tiles, holding baskets of strawberries and basil. In one corner, old crates have turned into a pantry wall of lettuce and rosemary. And along the path, rusty bike rims rise like halos, wrapped in green vines and tiny lights. Today, I'll show you 10 fences built from trash that make a small garden feel like a tiny European courtyard, so you will never look at your garbage or your backyard in the same way again. Welcome back to Backyard Fortune, the place where we turn everyday trash into tiny garden miracles. If you love the idea of small backyards, edible gardens, and fences that look designer but are secretly built from junk, you're in the right place. In this episode, we're walking through 10 garden fences and borders made from bottles, bike rims, fabric, crates, and more, all transformed into cozy, courtyard-style corners. If even one idea makes your heart beat a little faster, please tap subscribe and stay with this series. And if you know someone whose yard is too small or too messy to be beautiful, share this video into your WhatsApp groups and on Facebook so more garden lovers can dream with us. To everyone who watches and shares, I truly wish you long, healthy, peaceful days in your own backyard. One. Bottle Blossom Storybook Fence. Imagine walking down a small garden path just as the morning light begins to stretch its fingers across the leaves. Along the edge of the soil, a line of gentle blossoms seems to glow from within, as though the earth itself has decided to bloom in glass. But as you step closer, you notice the quiet truth. These flowers were once plastic bottles, forgotten and empty, now reborn as soft translucent petals curled into shapes that catch the sun like fragments of dew. Clear bottles shimmer like pale crystal. Green ones soften into sage. A faint lavender blush appears when the light meets a colored base. And all along the border, strawberries lean toward the warmth, basil lifts its fragrant leaves, and thyme spills in tiny cascades of green. The wind moves through the blossoms with a whisper, brushing past their delicate edges, turning trash into something unexpectedly tender. For a moment, the garden feels like a story unfolding, one where beauty is not bought, but rediscovered in the simplest objects. And as you follow the glowing border toward the next corner of the yard, a new idea begins to rise quietly ahead, waiting to be found. Two. Mosaic Mirror Fruit Courtyard Panel. Imagine reaching the quiet end of a garden where the sunlight begins to soften, and finding a single panel shimmering gently against the wooden fence. From a distance, it feels almost like a window to another place, fragments of mirror, chipped tiles, and worn ceramics arranged in imperfect harmony. But the beauty comes alive only when you step closer. The broken surfaces, once discarded, now catch the light in small, humble glimmers that move across the leaves like wandering thoughts. Woven baskets hang from simple hooks, filled with strawberries glowing red under the sun, basil lifting its fragrant leaves, and cherry tomatoes ripening in quiet confidence. Their colors deepen against the mirrored backdrop, as if the wall itself were helping them shine. Below, lavender hums softly with bees, adding breath and rhythm to the scene. There is something deeply human in these broken pieces, a reminder that imperfection can still reflect light, and that beauty often grows from what we choose to mend. The panel stands not as decoration, but as a pause, a moment of stillness that invites reflection, both literal and metaphorical. And as you step away, the glimmers fade into soft warmth, guiding you toward the next idea waiting deeper in the garden. Three, fabric and suitcase tapestry fence. Imagine arriving at the quietest corner of a backyard, where the world seems to slow just enough to notice the softness in the air. Along the fence, faded fabrics sway gently, scraps from dresses, curtains, or quiet afternoons long forgotten. Their colors blend into one another as the sunlight filters through woven threads, painting gentle patterns across the garden floor. Beneath them, two vintage suitcases sit slightly open, their worn linings now filled with basil, kale, and small strawberries that peek out like hidden treasures. There is a tender charm in this arrangement. The way the fabric moves with the breeze, the way the herbs rise from old travel cases, the way the past lingers in textures softened by time. It feels like stepping into a memory, one stitched together from journeys, stories, and the simple desire to give things a second life. The scent of basil rises, fresh and familiar. Kale fans its leaves across the edge of a suitcase, and tiny strawberries glow against faded stitching. Together, they form a tapestry not just of materials, but of quiet resilience, the beauty of what can grow when objects are allowed to begin again. And as you move past this curtain of fabric and history, the garden opens its next chapter, waiting with its own soft magic. Four, rustic crate pantry wall. Imagine walking into a quiet corner of the garden and finding not a wall of bricks, but a tower of old wooden crates, each one shaped and softened by years of carrying fruit, tools, or forgotten belongings. Stacked upright and sideways, they rise like open shelves beneath the sky, holding not objects but life itself. Rosemary reaches from a high compartment, brushing the air with its warm scent. Lettuce gathers in gentle curls inside a shaded crate, while strawberries spill from the edge of another, glowing red like little treasures waiting to be noticed. Light falls differently on every level, bright on one crate, soft and muted on the next, giving the wall a rhythm that feels almost musical. Moss gathers quietly around the corners, turning the weathered wood warm and familiar, as if the garden had decided to adopt these crates long ago. There is beauty in this simple structure, not because it tries to impress, but because it embraces imperfection. Every scratch in the wood, every faded stain, every mismatched corner tells a story of what once was, and what can be again when given a second life. And as you step back, watching herbs and fruits settle into their wooden home, another idea begins to rise at the edge of the garden's path, waiting to welcome you next. Five, vintage bike rim halo fence. Imagine walking along a simple garden path and noticing a row of circles rising quietly from the earth. At first, they look like faint halos suspended in the air, catching the morning light in delicate threads. But then you realize what they truly are: old bicycle rims, weathered by time, rescued from forgotten corners, now standing proudly as a fence shaped by the hands of nature itself. Vines weave eagerly through the spokes, curling upward as if drawn to some memory of motion. Beans or morning glories wrap themselves around the rusted metal, softening each ring until every rim becomes a living wreath. When the breeze passes, the leaves tremble and cast thin shadows across the gravel below, creating patterns that shift like quiet music. A few small jars hang from the rims, gathering sunlight through the day and releasing a faint glow at dusk. Nothing about this fence feels forced. It is a gathering of metal, plant, and light, humble pieces becoming something poetic when placed side by side. As you step away, the circles seem to hum softly, guiding your eyes toward the next corner of the garden, where another idea is already waiting to unfold. Six. Wicker basket herb curtain. Imagine walking past a wooden fence and noticing something swaying softly in the breeze. Not fabric, not vines, but baskets. Wicker baskets, worn with age, each holding a pocket of life. Their woven textures gather the sunlight in warm, uneven patterns, giving the entire fence a gentle, breathing presence. Mint rises in one basket, releasing its cool scent into the air. Basil spreads its leaves like quiet green wings. And from a wider basket, cherry tomatoes spill over like tiny lanterns glowing in the afternoon light. A trailing strand of thyme cascades downward, brushing the wood with a softness that feels almost like a whisper. Birds perch briefly along the rim, as if checking in on the garden's rhythm before fluttering away again. Nothing about this curtain feels structured or rigid. It moves with the wind, shifts with the day, and glows whenever sunlight finds the right angle. There is a quiet poetry in these baskets, once tools for gathering fruit or bread, now gathering moments of calm. A curtain that does not divide space but enriches it, adding scent, motion, and warmth to the garden. And as you follow this woven tapestry of herbs and shadows, a new idea gently reveals itself just beyond the next bend. Seven. Clay pot bounty border. Imagine walking along a garden path where the sunlight falls gently across rows of terracotta pots, each one carrying stories of seasons long gone. Some stand upright, steady and grounded. Others tilt just enough to pour out thyme, basil, or tiny strawberries like a slow, quiet waterfall of green. A few lie on their sides, cracked along the rim, but still cradling marigolds that glow like drops of sunlight resting on clay. There is a warmth in terracotta that no other material seems to hold. It stores the day's heat and releases it slowly as evening arrives, warming the leaves that lean against it. Moss gathers around the bases, softening every edge until each pot feels woven into the garden itself, not placed, but grown there over time. The border becomes a gentle rhythm, curves repeated, colors deepened, textures weathered by rain and years. Strawberries spill over like red jewels. Marigolds brighten the shadows. And thyme brushes your fingertips with its fragrance as you walk. This clay-lined path doesn't demand attention. It invites you to slow down, to notice small details, to enjoy the quiet harmony between earth, color, and time. And just beyond this warm terracotta scene, another idea calls softly from the next bend in the garden. Eight. Mirror ladder herb story wall. Imagine stepping into a forgotten corner of the backyard and finding an old wooden ladder resting gently against the fence, as if it had been waiting there for years. The wood is softened by time, its grain holding the memory of weather and work. Behind it, a mosaic of broken mirrors and chipped tiles shimmers quietly, reflecting slivers of sky, leaves, and passing light. Together, they create a gentle stage for the small clay pots perched on each rung. Basil lifts its leaves toward the warmth. Rosemary stands tall and fragrant, brushing the air with its comforting scent. Thyme spills in tiny cascades, tracing soft shadows along the ladder. At the base, lavender hums softly with bees, sending its color and fragrance upward like an offering. This herb wall is more than an arrangement. It is a reminder that objects can find new purpose when placed among growing things, that a ladder can become a shelf for life, and broken mirrors can turn sunlight into delicate movement. As the breeze shifts, reflections dance across the fence and herbs tremble lightly, creating a moment that feels both lived in and quietly magical. And as you step back, letting the light settle into stillness, the garden guides you toward the next idea waiting along the path. Nine. Tin Can Pocket Trellis Fence. Imagine walking along a simple trellis fence and hearing a faint, delicate clink, the soft sound of painted tin cans brushing gently against each other in the breeze. They hang in a cheerful row, each one brushed with pastel colors that catch the sunlight like tiny lanterns: mint, rose, buttercream, and soft sky blue. Their dents and scratches feel like memories, proof of the many days they once lived before becoming vessels of quiet beauty. Inside each can, life grows in small but generous ways. Time spills over the rim in a cascade of green whispers. Marigolds rise like drops of sunlight caught on their petals. Strawberries peek out with bright promise, and pea tendrils continue their determined climb, curling through the wooden trellis with soft persistence. This pocket garden feels playful, honest, and wonderfully humble. It doesn't try to be grand. It offers simple moments of delight, a reminder that beauty often hides in discarded things waiting for a second purpose. With each step you take, the colors shift, the shadows dance, and the tiny clinking melody continues. And as you move past this row of pastel pockets, the garden leads you gently toward its final idea, carrying the same soft rhythm of renewal. Wooden spoon and cutting board character fence. Imagine arriving at a quiet stretch of the garden where the boundary feels less like a fence and more like the first page of a children's story. Wooden spoons and old cutting boards stand upright in the soil like gentle characters, softened by time and by the countless meals they once helped create. Some are painted with simple smiles or tiny blush marks. Others wear delicate lines that curl like vines across the grain. A small clay pot hangs from one board, cradling mint that sways lightly with each passing breeze. Rosemary rises nearby, filling the air with its warm, familiar scent. Thyme gathers close to the ground, spreading softly around the wooden figures as if keeping them company. The sunlight warms the faces drawn on the spoons, making them appear thoughtful, cheerful, or quietly curious, each one carrying its own small personality. There is a gentle honesty in this border. It reminds you that beauty doesn't always come from grand materials or complex plans. Sometimes it grows from a drawer of forgotten utensils, from things worn by use, from memories etched into wood. And as you continue walking, leaving these wooden companions behind, the garden opens toward its last corner, where the final whisper of creativity awaits. If this video gave you even one fence or border you'd love to try, don't let it stay on the screen. Look around your home, your storage room, your junk pile, and see what might become a bottle blossom fence, a crate pantry wall, or a suitcase garden. Tell me in the comments which idea you'd start with first, or share your own twist, so our backyard fortune community can steal it kindly. If you haven't yet, please like this video, subscribe, and send it to a friend who needs proof that a small, messy yard can still feel magical. Until next time, keep planting hope, keep seeing beauty where others see trash, and may your days be long, healthy, and full of quiet garden magic.